For those of you visiting for the first time, this is Twin Circle Farm. I'm Mike. My hat's off to everybody on YouTube, especially FarmTube. You guys manage to have your phones out and record and get your video editing done and still get all your work done and have an off-farm job. That is just incredible. I'm a little slow to pull out the phone some days to record stuff or give you a message. So thank everybody for following us. It's very important to us. It's kind of us trying to stay transparent and show you this is a struggle. There's a lot of work here. There's a lot of others just like us that are doing it. It's also an education. So today's video was shot yesterday. It's out of order. It's really just an overview of how we do our irrigation. We use plastic mulch. We do organic growth here, so a lot of specialty crops. One of the things that we changed to this year, because of the acreage that we're running, is we're using our farm pond, our lake here behind us. We're using that for our irrigation source. So you'll see we have one of these pumps set up here in the front, one set up in the back. So what you don't see later in the video is the rest of the system. Try not to get into the minutia. All of our stuff is provided by rain flow. Calculations are by rain flow. This 3-inch blue line comes from this pump. So this is a Honda engine. Provides us a hard hose suction from the lake. Connects to a 3-inch cheap fire hose, a lay flat, can be rolled up flat. It goes through a simple paper filter. And then it connects to the systems that you'll see me working with in a little while. Some of the things that we've run into last year, we had a smaller amount in the last couple of years. We've been able to do it off of city water. A couple of problems with city water includes chlorination, fluoridation. We decided we wanted to stay natural and we needed more volume. Garden hose just won't cut it for you. The city water solution also takes a long time. Small garden hose. We're shooting 3 inches of water at this thing. It gets reduced down on pressure gauges and stuff. You'll see all of that. One of the issues we're having is we give a nutrient, organic nutrients, to help our plants along, in addition to beneficial bacteria that we'll inject. And they're injected into this irrigation system at the field. The water is a little bit hard. You'll see us do some testing on the water. One of the other projects we did yesterday will come in a later video. We did aeration for the entire pond. So there's 4 aerators now out in the pond and some beneficial bacteria out here. Again, avoiding chemicals whenever possible. We're not anti-science here. If nature has a way, we'd like to try that first. The more proven natural methods are safer and healthier. That's what we're about. As this pond changes, you'll see some videos of that. I'm trying to avoid dyes and chemicals and herbicides. Can't do any of that. We're using this water for our organic fields. But we believe that it's a healthy lake. It has inflow and outflow during rain. It turns over well. We just want to deal with a little bit of the muck, see if that'll help with the water hardness. At the end of the day, we're surrounded by farm fields, so the water gets a nitrogen shot every time that the fields run off after all the neighbors do whatever they're doing. We're going to take you around and show you the irrigation system from a nutrient side. We're trying to stir our nutrients in tubs and then use a Venturi injection system to introduce that into the irrigation system. Run into some challenges and we found out there's actually a machine made for this task. We're going to be ordering that, so that'll be in a later video. But it does the same thing like a commercial sprayer would. It agitates the solution the entire time and injects it. It has its own motor, so one more motor that we're going to have to maintain and keep running. So we thank you for watching. We need your support. We'd love to see your comments. Stay positive. This is a family endeavor. This is all about just learning and growing together as all of us are trying to be more sustainable, to show that this is a profitable way of farming. I know it's smaller scale. We're not big potatoes. I'd like to find a way to scale this up so that in my lifetime, what I pass on to my kids is a full-size operation like any other commercial farm using sustainable and organic methods. There's a lot of really good speakers out there that I've followed. I think you should follow them on soil health. We're not sponsored by anybody. This is our hard-earned dollar. Off-farm jobs pay most of the bills. It's been better and better and growing and growing. So we'd like you to follow us as we do this. Comment positively. Suggestions. We're learning. Criticisms, fair enough. We just don't want to get into something that's not family related. No foul language. No politics. So thanks for following us. Thanks for your comments. Thank you for your support. Subscribe. You know what that all means to all of us on YouTube. I'm not showing excellent cat videos here, so just bear with me. Thank you. This is the solution in a 110-gallon tank. So in here we've got Gromax and CalMax for our organic plants. It's been sitting in solution for 24 hours. Got a paddle mixer for drywall. I don't know if you can see on the video the crystallization that's still happening even after sitting for 24 hours. Let's reach down here and see what the bottom feels like. It fell back out of suspension. It's the entire bottom of this thing. And I don't know if you could see, but that is both the CalMax and the Gromax. That's what we're fighting with. 24 hours sitting in the solution, fell back out. So as I stir this, you can see the clouds in the water. I hope you can see that on the camera. It's not dissolved into the water. And this is 100 gallons of water, where it's supposed to take 14 gallons of water for these two bags. It's 25 pounds of CalMax, 25 pounds of Gromax, 100 gallons of water, and you can see the cloudiness. And you can see we've been breaking up these big chunks in here. You find one? This after stirring it now, I'd say for about 5, almost 10 minutes. Check there again now. I'll show that handful. We're just pulling this out of the bottom and having to break it up by hand. So even the mixer's not breaking it up. And I mean, you can watch the mixer. And it's stirring the water really well. And I've gone around. But I'd say that was an 1.5 inch thick cookie sheet of undissolved stuff right across the entire bottom. Now look, whole handful again. Hold it in the water and break it up again. So it's all stirred up. This is my little filler pipe I made. So on here is the meter for gallons per hour. And this valve is open. This valve now is open. He's going to fire up the pump. And by turning this valve, I'm going to set the gallons per hour once the pump comes on. The more I close this, the more water runs through the Venturi, sucking more product, but it gets a maximum under 100 gallons per hour. I know the meter says 100, but this unit's not hitting 100. Here comes the water. We're open. Start closing this valve down, stopping the main water. It's going to start the suction process. You see the water color change to the pinkish. And it maxes out just under 90. I'm going for the best flow I can. Like to hit 100. Too much back pressure on the Venturi, you can hear it. right around 90. So we'll take you on a ride out to the backfield. We're gonna do the same thing and set up the water system there. And she's mad. A couple of the calves are hiding on the other side. If you see a tail wagging, other side of that chicken barn right there. They just walk under the fence. They're babies still. Hey, Junior. See it poking its head out at us. There they go. We're here, you Mom. So. It's easiest to see this field, getting some good growth. Get out of there.
Are you serious?
So now we're at the back field. I wanted to show you before we do anything else. Let's reach down to the bottom and pull up the settled stuff. You can see the dark color of the water. It's got that red hue to it. It's part of the fertilizer. But this is literally, I'm trying to break through it so I can pick up a chunk of it. So I can show you how thick it is. That's the thickness of all the fertilizer on the bottom of this tank. So I'm going to try to stir it, break it up, and then we'll reach in and see what it's doing. So we'll take the paddle mixer and do the same thing we did out front. Watch yourself. Yeah, just big chunks. The whole bottom is one big cake. A lot of work on my arm. So that did not solve the problem. We need to switch to the fertilizer injector that actually agitates the mixture. You can see it's cloudy right under the water. It's not dissolved. I'll bring you back in a minute. Oh, pull some up, see what it looks like. Still big, see plates of it? Okay, so it's been 15 minutes of this. You can even see the water change color while I'm doing it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's granules that are larger than the intake screen. So I'm fairly certain this is just gonna choke up our machine. So it's gonna have to be babysat all day. And there's still chunks down in here that are like this. And this 15 minutes of stirring all along the bottom, the sides, it avoids me. I mean, just chunks, just big chunks, big granules. All right, so water's on. We'll go ahead and start her up, see what happens. Just like the other side. And again, the screen mesh on the intake hose, I'm just predicting it's going to get clogged up with the stuff on the bottom. Opening the small valve, shutting down the big valve to form a suction through the venturi. A lot of revolutions here, a lot of turns. Suction forming. I can see the product in the glass. Just like the front, holding right around 90. See what happens. So while I'm waiting on my ride, quick education. This is how the irrigation system works. If I can get lined up on this one. Your sub main is reduced on our case to 12 psi. And then the T-tape, which drips every foot or so, has basically perforations on the bottom, so it's dripping out water. You see a joiner here, that means we didn't have enough T-tape. And that's simply just punched into that black plastic. We'll show you a video how the system gets put together, but you can see Like there's a little drip here, there's some weeping here, there's some weeping here. That's the T-tape is ordered in a way to get you the certain amount of drip per foot. And then it goes onto the plastic. It's laid right in with the plastic mulch. So the entire system is coming from the pumps down at the pond. Those pumps are running through the blue hose. They go through the injector, then go to the pressure regulator, then into the submain, then down the T-tape through the whole field. This field is considered one zone. Now you can see in this field, the cover crop is coming in much nicer than in front. So it's basically our term and mix cover crop coming in much better, less grassy. So we're going to be excited to show you that over time. Timing is everything with that. If we can get the seed in the ground and the plants in the ground at the exact same time before any weeds get a chance to take hold, this should keep all of the weed suppression that we want and stay low to the plants. So we're feeding. Let's see what happens. I'm starting to hear a sound here though. The gallons per hour stayed the same, but I want to check the intake screen of this because I'm betting. Nope, I was wrong so far. So far, she's still running. And here, just suck the air bubble down. Well, that's it. It's laying on the bottom. We'll come back and check it in about an hour. So we hiked up here to take a look. And sure enough, look at all the stuff on the bottom. Hold this just like that. Watch the screen. It's like a paste. It didn't get absorbed. So you can see the screen is just covered on one side with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot some more water in here, stir it all up. This is what we've been fighting. And it's just still on the bottom. It's just a big monkey mess. It's just not working. We're gonna have to order that new machine. It's just on the bottom. Even all that stirring, it just fell right back down. So we'll let it run a little bit longer here and then we'll switch it over to let it just do just water for another hour after this, clean the lines out. Because I'm worried that stuff's in the lines too. It'll clog up all of our little drip line holes. I guess we'll do the same thing to the back one now. And you can see, look down at the water. It's cloudy under the surface. It's literally falling back out while we're watching it. So we'll throw everything in we can and switch it over to pure water. But for some reason, this one isn't drained. Here, let's walk around here and see what it is. Pull it up. I bet it's clogged. Yep, just a fine amount all over it. Okay, set it back down. Shake it right there in the water. Or take that pipe behind you and stir it up. Okay. And back up to 90 again. It basically had choked itself out. Okay, so we're gonna go down here and I'm gonna live test the pH of this lake since there was some question as to whether we had hard water, heavy metals, stuff like that. So we're gonna swish it around in here. Bring it back up and hold it next to the container. Total pH is the bottom one. 7.6. It's not an 8.2, it's about a 7.6. Cyanuric acid coming up 1. 30 to 50. Alkalinity, it's hanging at 120, 180 range. Bromine, 0. Free chlorine, 0. Total chlorine, 0.5. And then total hardness, parts per million, it's around, looks like that 120. Okay. Yeah, so that's the sludge after zone 2. So we're gonna go ahead and fire her up and do zone 3, I guess they call it, the one closest to the road. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fill it up with water. Then I'm gonna pour in the bags and stir it at the same time while the bags are being poured in. And then we'll see how it goes. So we'll be back with you in a minute. What'd you run for? Why'd you run? This bag's already got a hole in the bottom. So I just finished cutting it open. And then I'm gonna run the sterner. You just literally pour it right where I'm stirring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice and steady, not fast.
Yeah.
Look at that block already. That's nice.
Pellets.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is the bag of CalMax. I'm gonna have miles poured in while I'm stirring. I'm ready. So right there in the top of the bag was a chunk. Let's see if that worked. Nope. Literally just all over the bottom.
Yeah, oh my gosh. There's a big one here.
Pull it out and break it up.
Not a clump, like a big clump like this.
Okay, break it up. All right, I'm gonna go around the tub, just open the next bag. All right.
Yeah, it's just like a little layer on the bottom.
All right, get our hose all the way in there again.
I cleaned them off when I turned them off.
Okay. Okay, running 90 gallons per hour. I'll be honest, that's the best color we've had yet. That's the best mixture we've seen yet. Okay, we're gonna do a pH of the nutrient solution. So I did the pond water earlier. That was reported already. There's 2 seconds at least. Okay, so now here's our solution. The total hardness parts per million, somewhere in that 120 to 250 range. I don't see it as red as it could be for the 425. Total chlorine is showing as 0. If you gave it anything, it'd be a 0.5. Free chlorine, I'm showing a 0. You run across the scale, it's a 0. Bromine parts per million, I'm showing a 0, maybe a 1, but it looks like 0. Total alkalinity is clearly a 0. Cyanuric acid, it's like a 0. Maybe a little bit over 0. And then our pH is falling clearly in a 6 to 6.4 range, right in between those two. It's definitely probably lighter, more like the 6. Okay. And that is the max on the gallons per hour. I can't get that to go any higher. I've got it more on the Venturi suction side than on the main, just to make sure it keeps sucking hard. So, thanks for watching. This is the part of the video where our logo comes up and recommended cards for the next video and previous videos. We'll bring some videos showing more about the aeration, how the pond progresses, and what we've done. I'll also have some drone footage coming up here of the fields and some of the changes we've seen since last year. We appreciate your positive feedback. We're learning. We're growing. We'll bring you more videos as fast as we can. Again, hats off to you guys that are able to juggle that faster than me. You guys have a good day. Keep watching. Thank you.